Lee has towered over a key spot on the Uptown Parade Route.
Now the statue's gone, but a smaller version has just reappeared in time for Carnival. Jacqueline Quinn is here now to explain. Jacqueline.
Here are the beads. Here are the beads in question. You see right there, that's the Lee statue, General Lee there, and it says Forever Lee Circle. Now, from our research, I noted that this began popping up around September of last year, but over the weekend is when we noticed that people really started sharing images of these beads and talking about it online and on social media. So we talked with Charles Marsala with Save Nola Heritage. He actually advertised these beads for his group, Save Nola Heritage, back in September, that some of these beads, their sales would benefit his group so that they could put up banners and plaques to educate people, he says.
The money that we received from the bead sale, we put banners on the monument itself.
Marsala is with Save Nola Heritage, a group that wants to educate and demand more transparency from the city of New Orleans about what it does with public art, such as monuments.
This is the Lee Monument. We decorated the steps, and here we have Lee's contributions to New Orleans and to America by year. It's 86 after the war. The state becomes a cemetery. We get rid of tariffs. Eisenhower attributes Lee. Obviously it's New Orleans, a few sirens in the back. And then pre-war, he was the man who tamed the Mississippi. He also was a hero of the Mexican-American War. And he refused to lead a federal army across state lines, leading to what became the Posse Comitatus Act, becoming law in 1878.
So, I mean, my goodness, the commemorative plaques would be very helpful, and a lot of them, because this is the only way these kids are going to get exposure to history. They're not going to learn it in school.
No, they're not. And that's why these monuments were actually put up to begin with.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
They weren't.
It provokes a conversation. Mitch made this statement. Well, what do you tell the children? Well, Mitch, how about this history of the city? How about tell the kids what happened? Tell them about the Civil War. Tell them about slavery. Tell them about segregation. Tell the whole story. My goodness, this is an opportunity. When you have a beautiful statue, you have an opportunity for a dialogue. I mean, the question is, well, how do you bring things like that up when you have nothing to stimulate the conversation in the first place?
So think about the legacy. Lee did not want to bust up the Union.
No, he did not.
But he clearly
he served in the U.S. Army for what, 30 years?
Yes.
I mean, it's preposterous.
So this is a part of what could have been done. And the thing I do think is important is we are right now in Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Right. That's very nice, Charlie. I'm glad you're drawing attention to that.
And Lee opposed slavery.
Absolutely.
And we could have.
And we still have slavery today.
We do.
And that's the thing that's tragic. Here we are talking about monuments, and we need to be talking about a lot of things that are going on in this town right now. Human trafficking it's just horrible.
Documents revealed details from the raids. Undercover agents and officers show what went on inside the clubs, including prostitution and drugs. McCree's Jacqueline spent the day sifting through those documents, and she brings us the latest from Bourbon Street.
These are the suspension notices sent out to 8 strip clubs here on Bourbon Street. It comes after a joint investigation filled with undercover agents as well as local police. The details, some of them in this report, are graphic. Offering up sex, selling cocaine and marijuana, and showing their genitals are some of the things the NOPD, state police, and the Office of Alcohol and Tobacco Control say happened behind the walls of 8 strip clubs. Kelly, executive director of Covenant House, deals with human trafficking victims and those escaping prostitution. He's calling today's announcement a great first step.
This is not about the dancers. It's about owners and managers, who are allowing prostitution and drug dealing to take place in their establishments.
Even though the operation didn't find any evidence of human trafficking, Kelly strongly believes it's happening.
Police Chief Harrison talked of pimps and possible arrests of pimps. If there are pimps involved, there's a very good chance there's force, fraud, or coercion involved. And if so, that would make it human.
Wants them to serve as a reminder that Lee Circle still needs attention.
It should be finished, and really it should have been done before we have the mayor's change office as to what we're going to do with that area and where the money is going to come from to finish it.
So far, he estimates about 10,000 beads have been produced. and that means some of these beads could hit the parades.
My reaction would be that I'm glad somebody's throwing them, and I would be glad to receive it.
I also reached out to the city, but so far we have not heard back from them yet. Reporting live at Lee Circle, Jacqueline Quinn, Eyewitness News.
Jacqueline, thank you.
Former sites where they once stood will be updated. Jade Cunningham joins us live with that story. Jade?
Well, good evening. There are some people who have called these spots around town eyesores, but after speaking with many today, whether you were for or against these statues coming down, there is one thing many can agree on, and that's something needs to be put in their place. About 8 months after removal, the statues are still believed to be sitting in city-owned warehouses. The spots where they once stood also sit untouched. It just kind of looks incomplete. Residents want that to change and suggest something locals and tourists can enjoy.
It's just a shame to see those things sticking up with nothing on them.
A request for an update from the city was not given by airtime. Reporting live, Jay Cunningham, Eyewitness News.
Jay, thank you. Well, New Orleans police are